This past Tuesday, on the Feast of the Immaculate Conception, Pope Francis in Rome opened the Jubilee year, and as an action of that, opened the Holy Year door of St. Peter Basilica. The Pope sees a world hardened to compassion, and a church too often shuttered by cliques, and a world divided by walls. In our Catholic tradition, the Holy Door represents the passage to salvation, the path to a new and eternal life which has been opened to humanity by Jesus. It also symbolizes an entryway to God's grace and mercy, the ultimate and supreme act by which He comes to meet His people. Mercy is the bridge that connects God and humanity, opening our hearts to the hope of being loved forever despite our sinfulness. Doors have always had special meaning in the Catholic Church and indeed in most cultures. The door of the Church marks a divide between the sacred and the profane, separating the Church's interior from the outside world. It is a boundary defining welcome and exclusion. And the door is a symbol of mercy. The door is also a symbol of Mary, the mother dwelling of the Lord, and she too always has open arms and is ready to welcome the children of God home. It was not a coincidence that Pope Francis elected to open the Jubilee year and the Holy Year door on Mary's great feast. But the door especially represents Christ Himself, the one and only way to eternal life. As Jesus said, "I am the gate. Whoever enters through me will be saved and will come in and go out and find pasture." Jesus knocks on everyone's door. He yearns to accompany and nourish all. "If anyone hears my voice and opens the door, then I will enter his house and dine with him, and he with me." Those are the words from the book of Revelation. But we know too that doors can be narrow. Sometimes we must stoop with humility and be brought down to size by conversion in order to fit through an eternal door. That is why passing through a Holy Year door is part of a longer process of sacrifice and conversion required for receiving an indulgence granted during the Holy Year. A plenary indulgence, the remission of temporal punishment due to sin, is offered for pilgrims who also fulfill under other conditions reception of the sacrament of penance and Eucharist, visits and prayers for the intention of the Pope, and performing simple acts such as visiting the sick. And when we intentionally do those things, God indulges us. God indulges us like a parent indulges a child. We have just opened here at St. Stephen our own Holy Year door. This door is the same door most of you have walked through many, many, many times and will likely walk through many times. It has not today become magic. There is no hocus pocus. We are invited to make an act of faith, and in doing so, to ask for God's mercy. It's not complicated. But let this door, this passage, this opening point to other doors and passages and openings. First, the door to the sacrament of reconciliation, the door to a confessional. Between now and Christmas, almost every parish in the city of Owensboro will be hosting a reconciliation service. There are confessions scheduled at other times in each of our churches. If that's not a door through which you have walked in recent months or recent years or recent decades, this is an invitation. But there are also doors that point to the door of someone lonely or frightened or confused, someone we may find hard to forgive, someone to whom we may find it difficult to show mercy. This Holy Year door, by God's pleasure, will lead us to that door. Let this door then point to the door of someone we have harmed in some way and with whom we have not made peace. Let this door lead us wherever God would have us go, be that a physical door, a psychological door, or a spiritual door. In other words, don't overthink it. God, as always, desires union and communion with us. We cannot exhaust God's mercy. It's ours as simply as walking through a door, as passing through a door. God, then, is the one who is waiting. In Advent, we constantly speak of waiting, but it is God who is waiting on you and waiting on me, waiting for us to respond to his love and his goodness.